Okay, this is part two of that. Yes, that family was destroyed because I don't know. The mom didn't beat the kids. She fed them, she clothed them, she housed them. She was struggling. And it became quite obvious that a relative that wanted the kids took advantage of that. And instead of that being rectified in just a few weeks like it should have been, it was allowed by CPS. Who doesn't care? To go on and on and on. And now everybody's separated. That loving unit is gone. So, here's my thing. I don't understand how our government allows these things to go on. And not just in that. Like I said, there's in many, many, many things. And on that point though, to be a CPS worker, what do you have to have? A degree in, I think it varies by state, but I mean, you can, have no children, be 22 years old, and go out and decide whether some mom with 6 kids whose husband was killed in a car accident 6 months ago should keep her kids that night. Who the fuck are you people to judge? Shouldn't there be some kind of something really? And I know there was a lot of this going on in West Virginia. And I think there's been some people that have dealt with some of that. But, I mean, it hasn't been dealt with there, has it? Not in that county. And, okay, now we're going to look at the bigger picture of the world. What sparked me to say that is it doesn't matter what kind of government you have. It matters what kind of people you have. I was watching a show last night, that show Vice. And it's a liberal-leaning show, and I'm a conservative-leaning person, but I really fucking try to be open-minded. I was watching this show last night, eat my baked potatoes, and I've always thought it was kind of crazy how our government would do things like I'm not saying somebody didn't need to fucking take Saddam Hussein out of power. Okay, can we all fucking agree? The motherfucker was crazy. His son Zuzan Kusay was crazy loons, especially the one. And somebody need to take care of that situation. They needed a better situation. But we cannot go into another country and demolish their way of life and demolish their entire government and then walk out. We have, as neighbors here in the U.S., we have Canada and we have Mexico. And, I've never really felt threatened by Canada or Mexico. But when you talk about, like over in Europe and over in the Middle East, it's all these smaller countries. And so you got a good bazillion neighbors that can be on your doorstep in an hour. So if there's somebody over that way, some country, and they got 15 neighbors, And all those country neighbors are inhabited by quite a few radically insane people. We can't go over there, throw out the government, which wasn't the greatest government, and then just walk away and be like, oh, you mean ISIS is taking over? How the fuck did that happen? Al-Qaeda's moved in? Oh my God, can we believe it? If we're going to go over there and spend billions of my tax dollars, when you go and you don't even get a refund and you fucking owe, and you've paid and paid all year and you still fucking owe. Yeah, that's my tax dollars. Not the people that, I paid $2,000 in taxes last year, but I got an $8,000 refund. Guess what, bitch? You don't pay taxes. I do. I paid for your extra $6,000 you got back. So anyway, when you go over there, and this year we got a refund, I couldn't believe it. Oh my God, I was so happy. But anyway, we spend billions of dollars to wipe out this horrible government that's so tyrannical to its people, and and these Uday and Kusei and their friends, and these whatever, and then we just walk away and let all these groups move in on top of these people that have had a bad government for the past 20, 30, 40 fucking years. And let those people just fight over the scraps. Because in the middle of all that scrap somewhere is fucking oil that they want. That's crazy. Because we don't want to look like assholes because we can't take the oil, because then everybody will say, oh, they went over there for the oil. Maybe we could at least spend a little bit more after those billions to get him hung, but maybe we could spend just a little bit more, make some schools. If we had built schools before we left, and at least set up some kind of temporary government. I mean, there was the guy with the hat, but that was a whole other thing. And that was a bad idea from the beginning. Let another neighboring country that's not totally insane say, hey, here's the money. You guys get this shit up and running. And, give them a couple years. Something other than just walk the fuck away. The children that would have been in those schools are now the suicide bombers. They're now in ISIS. They're now trying to kill us. This is insane. So on Vice the other night, they're talking about Libya. And I thought, yeah, Gaddafi, that was a crazy motherfucker right there. I was never a Gaddafi fan. I always thought, while we're over flying to some other fucking event, maybe we should drop one on his house. Well, as it turns out, I guess I hadn't paid a whole lot of attention to that going on over there. But, I knew Gaddafi had gotten killed and drug out in the street, and there was pictures, and, and I thought, yeah, good for those people. Apparently he was a piece of shit president with a piece of shit country government that was running the people into the ground and treating their citizens like shit, and, good for them. But what did we do? we did the same thing we always do. We knocked an albeit shitty but stable government out. And then we walked the fuck away. We walked away and we left them to their own devices. We left them without food, without water, without shelter, without defenses. In fucking Libya. Okay, let's look around at their neighbors. Which means there's 100 fucking crazy fucking militias from 600 crazy places that swarmed in to try to take over that country. Now, I mean, goddamn, look how bad it gets here when we got like a Republican and a Democrat and a fucking libertarian or something and an independent running, and we're a democratically elected kind of government, sort of. But over there, they don't have any of that shit. They don't have a president. They don't have a Congress. It's been this way for a couple years. What are they gonna do? Ted the Taco Man go sit up in the fucking street and say, okay, guys, sit down, let's all start voting. How's everybody think we should go from here? No, fuck that. No, we left them people over there. We left them battered and burnt and torn, and we walked. And let the wolves with 1,000,000 different colored headbands come in and start fucking with those people. Those people had no defenses. And no, I mean, we can't take them all in. Nobody can take them all in. But we need to quit creating the situation and then blindly walking away like we have, no responsibility now that place has had no government for a couple years. And if there's 100 or 200 militias all fighting for it, guess what? Nobody's going to win that fight. Because if somebody even wins it a little bit, the other 199 militias are just going to come in and make sure that doesn't last very long. And what the man said on there on Vice, he said, we have everything. We have thousands of miles of beachfront. We have oil. We have this. We have that. We have a beautiful country with all these possibilities. But we don't have good people. Because the people that are good are lost. They're lost. They're defenseless. And this is, I feel like, what's going on in Syria. We go over there and we do this shit and we help start this shit, or we fund somebody else to start the shit, and then when it's all over, we go, bad guys out of power, we did our job, and we leave. And I know one of the soldiers on that show had said, I fought 2 different wars against Gaddafi. Gaddafi was an awful man. But if he was alive today, I would fight for Gaddafi. Because what we have now is nothing. We have chaos. We have nothing. And this will be the downfall of our world. This. We're the stable country. And I honestly don't see that lasting much longer. We've just become too divided. And everybody has been encouraged to dig their heels in. Because you take what you want. You get what you can get. It doesn't matter what's best for the child. You do what the fuck you want. It's ruined. it's ruined.